Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Most of you know who I am, but for the benefit of those who do not know who I am, my name is Nirantara Dasa. I was accepted as initiated disciple in April of 1974 by the ISKCON founder Acharya, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Then in September of 1975, he gave me my second Brahminical initiation. And I asked my spiritual master in 1975 what pleases him the most. And his response was, what pleases him is when I love Krishna. So that is the instruction I have been given by my spiritual master, that this life I must learn how to love Krishna. So the temple management has requested that I speak about what the festival was last Sunday, the marriage ceremony of Shalagram, Sheila, and Tulsi. So of course, I researched what my spiritual master has written, and I am presenting this in the hopes that it will enliven you, it will encourage you, and it will enthuse you, not for material life, but for spiritual life. Because I am a spiritual trainer. If you want a physical trainer, they're a dime a dozen. But spiritual trainers, they're kind of rare. So I begin. First, a statement by my spiritual master, putting everything into context. He writes, in this age, the age of Kali, the worship of Shalagram Sheila is not as important as the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. That is the injunction of the Shastra, especially in Kali Yuga. Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Harer Nama eva kivalam, Kolo nastyeva, nastyeva, nastyeva katir anyatha. So it is the opinion of the great Goswami, Srila Jiva Goswami, that by chanting the holy name offenselessly, one becomes completely perfect. So there are 10 offenses in the matter of chanting. But if one is able to chant without offense, one becomes completely perfect. Nevertheless, just to purify the situation of the mind, worship of the deity in the temple is also necessary. Therefore, when one is advanced in spiritual consciousness, or is perfectly situated on the spiritual platform, one may take to the worship of Shalagram Sheila. In this connection, Prabhupada writes that in this age of Kali, 2 processes are recommended for those who are serious about spiritual advancement. Those 2 paths are known as Bhagavat Vidhi and Pancharatrika Vidhi. So Narada Muni is the Acharya who has given us the directions in his Narada Pancharatra how to properly worship the deity. And Bhagavat Vidhi is the process of hearing and chanting the glories of the Lord. So with both of these, one can quickly make spiritual advancement. So, the marriage of Shalagram and Tulasee, there is a history, a leela, which is described in the Bhavishya Purana. At least that's the information I got. I have been informed that there are other narrations about the marriage of Shalagram and Tulasee in other Puranas. So here is a gist of the Leela of Tulasee and Narayan. Shankachuda was actually Sudama, one of Krishna's eternal cowherder boys who had been cursed by Radha. That is interesting. Now he was the earthly husband of Tulasee. But after Shankachuda was slain by Lord Shiva, Lord Vishnu disguised himself to look just like Shankachuda and engaged in conjugal relations with Tulasee. However, after a short while, Tulasee could understand that her chastity had been defiled by some cheating or trickery. Tulasee Devi then became angry with Vishnu, who had disguised himself to look like her husband. And when the Lord revealed who he actually was, Tulasee Devi fainted. After a few moments later, she regained consciousness and then spoke. "O Lord, you are like a stone. You are merciless. You violated my chastity by deception. And by this means, you have killed my husband. O Lord, you are merciless. Yes, your heart is like a stone. Therefore, I curse you to become a stone. Those who call you holy are undoubtedly wrong. Your devotee committed no offense, and yet, for the sake of others, you killed him. Why?" Overpowered with grief and sadness, Tulasee cried loudly, repeatedly lamenting. Upon seeing her so upset, Lord Narayan, who is Karana Sindhu, an ocean of mercy, tried to console Tulasee according to the rules of Dharma. Narayana said, "O exalted one, you might recall that previously you performed austerities for a long time to get me as your husband. But Shankachuda also performed austerities for a long time to get you as his wife. And by that austerity, he fulfilled his wish. It was then necessary for me to fulfill your wish. For this reason, I did what I did. Now, leave your earthly body and assume a spiritual body. Yes, be married to me, just like Lakshmi. Your body will become the famous river known as Gandakan, which is virtuous, pure, and transparent in this holy land of Bharatavarsha. Your hairs will be transformed into holy trees. And since the trees will be born of you, they will be known as Tulsi trees. And all the residents of the three worlds will perform worship with the leaves and flowers of this tree. Thus you, Tulsi, will reign as the best among trees and flowers. Elsewhere, there is a note. We all know the famous verse in Bhagavad Gita, Patrang pushpam palam toyam, yome bhaktya prayachati. So, patra means leaf. So yes, Krishna will accept any leaf, but especially Tulsi leaf. Lord Hari continued, Now, Tulsi, as for me, by your curse, I will become a stone. But I will remain close to the bank of the Gandaki river. Millions of Vajrakita worms with their sharp teeth will make convolutions or rings in those stones representing me. These will be known as Shalagrams, sacred stones. Now, the Bhavishya Purana gives a list of different kinds of shalagrams or chakras. There are quite a few. There's Lakshmi Narayan, Lakshmi Janardhan, Raghunath, Vamana, Sridhar, Damodar, RadhaRaman, Raja Rajeshwari, Ananta, Madhusudan, Sudarshan, Gadadhara, Hayagriva, Nrsimha, Lakshmi Nrsimha, Vasudeva, Pradyumna, Sankarshan, and Aniruddha. And it's mentioned by Prabhupada and elsewhere that even rocks that you might get from Govardhan, those are also worshipable. They're known as Govardhan Shilas. So there are so many different kinds of Shilas. All right, let's continue. Lord Hari is speaking. Wherever there are Shalagram Shilas, Lord Hari himself exists. And wherever Lord Hari is, Lakshmi and all the holy places also exist. Just one thing to keep in mind, that here we have our deities in the temple, and these deities were installed. That means there was a Vedic ritual, and the priest at the time of the installation requested Krishna to please incarnate as the deity. That is why we are not idol worshippers. We are worshiping God in a physical form. We should never let anyone tell us, oh, you worship idols. No, we worship God in a form that is easily handled. That's another discussion for another time. But, so these deities were installed, but Shalagram Stelas don't need installation. They are already God. And one word of caution, in case you're thinking, oh, I want to go and get. Keep in mind, like we have on our altar small Gaur Nitai, Nityananda and Chaitanya. So in the worship of those deities, you don't have to worry about offenses. They don't accept. Jagannath, Balaram, and Subhadra, they are 75% merciful. In other words, 25% you're held accountable. Radha and Krishna, if they're installed, 100% you're responsible for offenses. Shalagram, Shila, one offense and your whole bhakti lata is destroyed. So, that's why Prabhupada said in the beginning, if you think you're on the spiritual platform, then go ahead. But if you're not, I would shy away from it. Let us continue. Nevertheless, by worshipping Shalagram Shila, one destroys the sin of having killed a Brahmana or any other type of sin. If one observes vows, offers gifts, consecrates a temple, performs shraddha or funeral ceremonies, or worships the demigods before Shalagram Shila, all these acts become highly exalted. So, this temple has, the pujaris have Shalagram Shila? Yes? So, all your different functions, paka, as it's mentioned here. You are very fortunate in this temple. And we should be very appreciative of our purohits who are guiding us. If one worships Shalagram Shila, one acquires the merits of bathing in all the holy tirthas. Without a doubt, the demigods are pleased with a person who daily worships Shalagram Shila. One becomes so holy that even all the holy places desire to touch that devotee. One becomes Jivan Mukta, liberated while in one's physical body. Ultimately, one goes to Vaikuntha and serves Lord Hari eternally. Now, just as a side note, there is no Google map for Vaikuntha. No. To go to Vaikuntha is actually very simple. As Prabhupada told me, love Krishna. When your love for Krishna is without check, when there are no restrictions, as Kunti says, let my love flow like the Ganges. Kunti prays like that. When we get to that stage, you have purchased your ticket to Vaikuntha. All aboard. Therefore we chant, I think the women have more devotion than the men. Or else they're just outnumbered. Either way, you're doing good, ladies. Anyone who, while dying, drinks the water of the Shalagram Shila will be freed from all sins and go to Vaikuntha. One becomes completely freed from the effects of karma, action and reaction, and without a doubt becomes forever absorbed in the vision of Lord Vishnu's feet. This whole past month, we were reciting the Damodar Ashtakam prayers. And if you studied those prayers, the author more than once says, I don't want any benediction. I don't even want moksha. I don't even want Vaikuntha. No. I just want to have this vision of Bala Gopal. That is what's being described here. Always to have that vision of Balagopal. Let us continue. Because Tulsi was born on the lunar day of the full moon in the month of Kartik, Lord Hari prescribed this day for her worship, which is exactly what you did. Whoever worships Tulsi on this day will be freed from all sins and go to Vaikuntha. So how many were here last Sunday and attended? Very good. Look what it says. You're freed from all sins. You're going to Vaikuntha. Disclaimer, but now don't commit any more sins. Stay clean and pure. That's the catch. Whoever, out of reverence, gives Lord Vishnu a tulsi leaf in the month of Kartik will gain the same benefit obtained by giving a gift of 10 million cows. This Bhakti Marg is so wonderful. That's why Krishna says in Gita, Susukam kartum avyayam. This Bhakti Marg is a process which is sukam. Sukam, happy. But susukam, too happy. Or you can say easy, simple. Because all you have to do is chant. Very good, men. You regained your status. Very good. So, lately I've been putting Tulsi here where I speak because I want to get as much benefit. Om Vrindayai Tulsi Devyai Priyayai Kesavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Praday Devi Satyabatyai Namo Namaha. I offer repeated obeisances to Vrinda, Tulsi Devi, who is very dear to Lord Keshava. O Goddess, you bestow devotional service to Krishna, and you possess the highest truth. Tulsi Krishna Prayasi Namo Namaha. Radha Krishna Seva Pabo Hey Abhilashi Ye Tomara Sharanaloy Taravanja Purna Hoy Kripa Kori Koro Tare Vrindavana Vasi Mora Abhilash Vilas Kunje Diovas Nayane Heribo Sada Yugala Rupa Rashi Nivedana Dara Shakira Anu Gatakoro Sheva Adhikara Diye Kora Nija Dasi Dina Krishna Dase Koi Jaina Mora Hoy Sri Radha Govinda Preme Shadayina Basi Tulasee Krishna Prayasi Namo Namaha. O Tulsi, beloved of Krishna, I bow before you again and again. My desire is to obtain the service of Sri Sri Radha and Krishna. Whoever takes shelter of you has their wishes fulfilled. Bestowing your mercy upon someone, you make that person a resident of Vrindavan. My desire is that you will also give me residence in the pleasure groves of Sri Vrindavan Dham. Thus, within my vision, I will always behold the beautiful pastimes of Radha and Krishna. I beg you to make me a follower of the cowherder damsels of Braja. Now here comes the line I personally meditate on. Please give me the privilege of devotional service. Now, this word that's used here, privilege, the Bengali word was adhikari, same thing in Sanskrit. So adhikari means that you have earned or are deserving of a particular situation. You're deserving of it. So the devotee, out of humility, always thinks, I'm not worthy, Lord. I'm fallen, Lord. I'm not worthy. But the devotee has what is called asha bandha, hope against hope. Yes, hope against hope. That somehow or other, by Krishna's blessing, by Krishna's mercy, by Krishna's grace, I will be delivered. So to engage in bhakti, devotional service, that is privilege. And so one should cherish it. One should revere it. And one should really consider it very, very special. This very lowly servant of Krishna prays, may I always swim in the love of Sri Sri Radha and Govinda. Or in this case, may we always swim in the love of RadhaRaman. Then, of course, very powerful mantra. Yani kani chapapani brahmahatyadi kani cha tani tani pranasyanti pradakshina pade pade. When a person circumambulates Tulsi Devi, all the sins one may have committed are destroyed at every step, even the sin of killing a Brahmana. So during all of the exchange between Lord Narayan and Tulsi, there was another incident that is mentioned in the Bhavishya Purana. Here it says, once in the presence of Lord Hari, the dignified Sarasvati quarreled with Tulsi and hurt her feelings. Tulsi, humiliated and insulted, disappeared. Then, out of anger, the wise and adept Tulsi became invisible, even to Lord Hari. And when Lord Hari did not see Tulsi, he went to Sarasvati and appeased her, and after obtaining her permission, proceeded to the Tulsi forest of Vrindavan. Lord Hari was very much disturbed by the separation from Tulsi. Then Krishna took a bath, and with proper rites, Krishna worshipped the chaste Tulsi with his whole heart. Then Krishna meditated on Tulsi with devotion and uttered obeisances to Tulsi Devi, queen of Vrindavan forest. That's interesting. Many times we say, Radha is the queen. Here, Krishna is saying, yes, Tulsi is also queen, because in the higher sense, Tulsi is only Radha's expansion. During the worship, Tulsi was offered a lighted ghee lamp, frankincense, sandal flowers, and sacrificial offerings. Anyone who worships Tulsi in this way will achieve complete perfection. Then the Lord began to praise his glorious devotees. So here we get the 9 different names for Tulsi coming from Krishna's own lotus mouth. Tulsi trees collect in many groups. Thus, the pundits call her Vrinda. Everybody say, I praise that dear Vrinda Devi. So that's the first name, Vrinda. Number 2, long ago, Tulsi appeared in Vrindavan forest and is thus known as Vrindavani. Everybody say, I adore that auspicious and glorious Vrindavani. Number 3, Tulsi is worshipped in countless universes, and so she is known as Vishva Pujita, or one who is worshipped throughout the worlds. I worship that Vishva Pujita. Number 4, countless universes are made pure and holy by the contact of Tulsi. Tulsi is therefore also called Vishva Pavani, one who purifies the whole universe. Remembering her, I am suffering from separation from Tulsi. Number 5, although other flowers may be heaped upon the demigods are not satisfied unless Tulsi is offered. Thus, Tulsi is considered the essence of all flowers and is called Pushpa Sara. Everyone? I am now anguished and troubled and very eager to see Pushpa Sara, who is purity incarnate. Indeed, I crave the favor of that goddess. Number 6, because attainment of Tulsi brings faith and joy, Tulsi is called Nandani. Oh, may Nandani be pleased with me. Number 7, in the whole world, she is incomparable. Thus, she is called Tulsi. Everybody say, I take refuge of that dear Tulsi. Number 8, very chaste and dear, she is the life of Krishna, and so she is known as Krishna Jivani. Everyone? Oh, may that goddess save my life. So I said 9, there's only 8. I'm a conditioned soul. I can make mistakes. So I was just thinking that these names of Tulsi would be good for disciples, giving disciples names. You could give these names. After Lord Hari finished the ceremony and prayers, Tulsi was pleased and came out of the tree. Immediately she took refuge at Lord Hari's feet. Krishna then blessed Tulsi by saying, O Tulsi, you will be worshipped throughout the 3 worlds. O dearest, I will hold you on my head and in my heart. And all the demigods will also hold you on their heads. When Lord Hari saw the dignified Tulsi was weeping because her feelings had been hurt by Saraswati, Krishna took Tulsi to his chest and then took her to Saraswati, reconciling their differences. Then Krishna blessed Tulsi. You will be worshipped by all, honored by all, respected by all, and everyone will carry you on their heads. And I also will worship, honor, and respect you, and also carry you on my head." Tulsi was now very happy. Sarasvati then embraced Tulsi, seating her by her side. Then Lakshmi and Ganga Devi, now smiling, also hugged Tulsi and then took Tulsi to her home. So there's some nice verses in the Bhagavatam. I will finish up with some selected verses in the Bhagavatam. Mahaprasada Janani Sarva Saubhagya Vardani Adivyadi Harer Nityang Tulsi Twang Namostute. O Tulsi, I offer repeated obeisances unto you. You are the mother of Mahaprasad, the increaser of good fortune for all, and you take away all diseases and anxieties. Yavai lasach tri Tulasee-Vimrisha Krishnangri Renu Abhyadani Kambu Netri Punati Lokan Ubayatra Seshan Kastang Naseveta Marishyamana. So this is found early in the first canto. The river Ganga, by which King Parikshit sat to fast, carries the most auspicious water, which is mixed with the dust of the lotus feet of the Lord and tulsi leaves. Therefore, that water sanctifies the three worlds, inside and outside, and even sanctifies Lord Shiva and other demigods. Consequently, everyone who is destined to die must take shelter of this river Ganga, which is mixed with the dust of the lotus feet of Krishna and tulsi leaves. Then, in the second canto, Shaunaka Rishi says, Jivanchavo Bhagavatangri Renung Na Jatu Martyo Bilabeta Yastu Sri Vishnu Padya Manujas Tulasya Svashanchavo Yastu Naveda Gandham. Shaunaka Muni said, that person who has not at any time received the dust of the feet of the Lord's pure devotee upon one's head is certainly a dead body. And the person who has never experienced the aroma of tulsi leaves from the lotus feet of the Lord is also a dead body, although breathing. Mandara Kunda Kurabotpala Champakarna Punaga Naga Bakulambuja Parijata Ganderchate Tulasika Byarena Tasya Yasming Stapa Sumanaso Bahu Manayanti. Lord Brahma, who is understood by transcendental vibration, tried to satisfy the demigods, being pleased with their words of prayer. So what happened was, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, the first two demons, started to harass the demigods. So the demigods went to Lord Brahma asking for help, assistance, how to deal with these two demons. So Lord Brahma described to them Vaikuntha. This is all found in the third canto. Full description of Vaikuntha. So, in speaking, he spoke as follows. Although flowering plants like the Mandara, Kunda, Kurabaka, Utpala, Champaka, Arna, Punaga, Nagakeshara, Bakula, Lily, and parijata are full of transcendental fragrance, they are still conscious of the austerities performed by Tulsi. For Tulsi is given special preference by the Lord, who garlands himself with Tulsi leaves. Then a most famous verse. This verse is quoted many times by Prabhupada, by Lord Chaitanya. The reason this verse is important is because it shows the superiority of bhakti as opposed to all other processes of self-realization. The four Kumaras, the first sons of Brahma, they kept themselves as 5-year-old brahmacharis because they wanted to become completely free from any kind of sex desire. Sex desire is not possible in a 5-year-old boy. So they got that benediction that they would eternally remain 5-year-olds. And they lived for thousands and thousands. But they were what is called Brahmavadis. They were realized in the impersonal understanding. But somehow or other, they were able to enter Vaikuntha. And when they entered Vaikuntha, this is what happened. Tasyaravinda nayanasya padaravinda kinjalka misra tulasi makaranda vayu antar gata swa vivarena chakara teshang sangshobam akshara jusham api chittatanvo. When the breeze carrying the aroma of tulsi leaves from the toes of the lotus feet of Narayan entered the nostrils of those four sages, they experienced a change both in body and mind, even though they were attached to the impersonal Brahman understanding. So this is significant. Just by smelling, because what happened was there was some argument. The two gatekeepers, Jai Vijay, didn't want the four Kumaras to enter. They said, no, you are not permitted. And the four Kumaras said, what are you talking about? You guys must be imposters. And then there was cursing. The four Kumaras cursed Jai Vijay. Then Vishnu, Narayan, came. And he apologized. He apologized to the four Kumaras. And when Narayan appeared, that's when the four Kumaras smelled the lotus feet of Krishna mixed with sandalwood and tulsi. Anyone who has gone very, very close to deities, Radha Krishna deities, if you get very close, you can smell the saffron and tulsi. And for the four Kumaras, completely changed their whole consciousness. In my case, I also had a complete change of consciousness when I first ate Mahaprasad. It was April 1973 in the ISKCON temple that was in Brooklyn. It was my first visit to the temple. I got to see Prabhupada in person. The next morning, I got to hear his Bhagavatam class. But before that, the devotees, they took me and they sat me down in the basement. That's where they would honor prasad, like you, on the floor. And there was a piece of wax paper with some green slop. I didn't know what it was. And they said, oh, eat it. I was hungry, and as soon as I ate it, I stood up. Give me more. Give me more. This is amazing. What is this? So they told me, oh, this is shock, spinach. And I said, spinach? I hate spinach. My mother would cook spinach and spit it out. But this spinach, I said, in 23 years, I have never tasted anything like this green slop. And when I said, give me more, the devotee said, well, if you want more, you got to come back tomorrow. So I was immediately thinking, oh, I must come to the temple as much as I can, because I've eaten all over New York, Manhattan. But where are you going to get this? And whenever I would come to the temple, there'd be something new. Just like the first time I had samosa. Cooked in ghee, not oil, ghee. That was also a change of my heart. And I would go as much as I just to eat this sumptuous prasad. Prasad is so important. Look what's it done to me. Here I am speaking to you, all because of prasad. Final verse. We can't forget our gopis. So the night of the rasa dance, we all know the story, how the gopis, they were missing Krishna because Krishna disappeared from them, testing them to see if they were really dedicated and serious and really surrendered. So the gopis prayed to Krishna on that night. Shiryat padambuja rajas chakame tulasya. There's the word, tulasya. Labdvapi vakshasi padang kila britya jushtam. Yasya sva avikshana utanya sura prayasas. Tadvad vayang chatavapada raja prapana. So the gopis prayed to Krishna. Goddess Lakshmi, whose glance is sought after by the demigods with great endeavor, has achieved the unique position of always remaining on the chest of her Lord Narayana. Yes, that is called Srivatsa. What distinguishes Narayan from all the other residents of Vaikuntha, because they all have 4 hands, they all have sky bluish complexions. So how to distinguish Narayan from everyone else? Srivatsa. Curl of hairs. Now, in some places it says white, in some places it says silver, and some places it says gold. Now, I can't reconcile that, but that's what this, so I guess we'll have to go and see. Okay, Lord, is it silver, gold, white? We'll have to see. Who wants to see? Yes, every hand should be up. Still, Lakshmi Ji desires the dust of Narayan's lotus feet. And even though Lakshmi has to share that dust with Tulsi, and indeed with the Lord's many other servants, similarly we gopis have approached the dust of your lotus feet for shelter. Technically, they said this prayer at the beginning of the rasa dance, because Krishna blew his flute and all the gopis came running. They dropped everything, whatever they were doing, their household chores. They dropped it and ran. And when they arrived at the scene, Krishna was playing with them. Oh, what are you doing here? Why have you come? And the gopis are saying, hey, you blew your flute. You gave us the text message. We came. So Lord Krishna was trying to play with the gopis, and by the gopis' arguments, they defeated Krishna. So this is one of the arguments. Krishna was telling him, oh, you should go back to your husbands and sons and brothers and fathers. Gopi said, no, we have come to dance. So the gopis defeated Krishna and the rasa dance began. One more. This was at the time of Krishna's disappearance. Krishna's disappearance is explained in the 11th canto of the Bhagavatam, final chapter of the 11th canto. And it describes how Krishna was shot in the foot by a hunter named Jara. But Krishna did not die. And neither did Krishna go, owie, owie, no. In fact, not only did Krishna not die, but he gave liberation to the hunter who shot him in the foot. That's my kind of God. Yes. No vengeance, no retaliation. Yes. You like that, huh? Yes. Very good. So, Krishna's chariot driver, his name is Daruka. So he was looking for Krishna. And Krishna was sitting by a tree. And when Daruka came there, what did he smell? The aroma of tulsi flowers. And so that's how he knew where to find Krishna. He followed that scent. Just like I know you've seen the police, when they're investigating a crime, they have those dogs that can smell, right? They give the dog some kind of, this is something the criminal wore or the person wore. And by the smell, the dog can find out. I've been told to stop. That's all right. Did you get enlivened? Are you encouraged? Are you enthused? Do you want me to come back? Thank you. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. You sing it. May Krishna bless you, protect you, maintain you, and may we all get the blessings of Tulsi Devi Maharani Ki.